Let's do this. Let's get it. Let's get it, peeps. Peeps. Let's get it. Salute to those who are already here. Teresa, hi there. Are you really Portuguese? Or maybe you just know Portuguese? Fab. Fab is here. What's up, dude? All good? How's it going with the social media detoxification? Detox. Okay, Teresa, yes, I see that. If I'm being honest, I like more Brazilian Portuguese. I grew up watching Brazilian drama series, so I think Brazilian is more melodic. How do you say it? I think it's called melodic. Yeah, it's more soothing to my ear. Just a personal preference. Yo, Alpha Interactions. How's it going? Have you found any good accommodation? Do you have a good place? Um, is it like are you doing your job from there online or you just have opportunity to do that? Because I would do if I had that possibility. I mean, I have, but I mean, I need to focus on creating some stuff for now before making that kind of moves. Yeah, YouTube is social media for everyone, but it's a different kind of social media. You don't have to be drawn into vanity as in many other types of social media. Like, for instance, Instagram, TikTok, and even Facebook. It's a superficial vanity. So you can vote, you can watch the kind of creators that you resonate with, that you find interesting. So it's really watching TV on demand for me, anyway. Um, Alpha Interactions, what do you say? Should we do a collaboration? Maybe from Thailand. Hi, Nalini. Uh, Wait a second. You mean that Portuguese is harder to understand than Brazilian Portuguese? Why is that? How come? Now I'm confused. Well, Alpha Interactions, we should. Do you have email address on your Facebook, on your YouTube channel? If so, I can shoot you an email and we can sort it out somehow. No problem. let's see. Uh, let's see. Um, do we have someone on Discord? Someone who would like to join me in a call? Maybe? Yeah, I realized that, I don't know, even though people voted for Fridays to have a live stream, I think it would be more suitable to do it during weekends, maybe. Um, I will figure it out in a way the upcoming year. There, there will be a lot of changes. I mean, I, I, I don't want to repeat myself, but yeah, I think it's by the January 5th. It will be 1 year since I uploaded my first video. So that's a good um, milestone to make some considerable changes to the channel, right? I mean, we wouldn't like to watch this white wall behind me ad infinite ad infinitum. How do you say it in Latin? Alpha interactions. Are you still planning to do? But you will still create some content, right? Even though you're on a vacation. But I mean, you're not really on a vacation. But yeah, you're relocated. How often do you plan to make uploads? Mm, 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 mm. People, do you have questions for me? I have some stuff that I would like to make eventually videos on, but maybe I can. Yeah, two videos sounds about sufficient. I think you have alpha interactions. I think you have a great opportunity to make some travel vlogging and maybe even I wouldn't. How could I say it? Maybe even document your interaction with women while on the go. I think that would create a lot of traction to your channel. I've seen a new dating coach, if I could call him that. I don't know if you've heard about him. His name is Coach Kyle. He has a cameraman who follows him around and films him. I mean, it's not. I think it's illegal, but he's doing it very, and he's blurring out the faces, and he's doing very sneaky. And those uploads have created a lot of traction onto his channel, and he had like 6 or 7 videos uploaded, and he has more than 100,000 followers by now, I think. So maybe you would like to check him out. But I mean, your your shtick, if I could call it that, is knowledge, right? I mean, yeah, his knowledge, but this coach Kyle, he's like filming and then commenting his films. So yeah, I see that you have noticed him. So yes, there's a huge difference between PUAs and theorists, if we can call them that, like yourself and myself. I mean, I like when I was heavily involved in dating scenery, uh, I didn't like that kind of interaction. It's not my style. I'm more like of AMS, but yeah, he's very outgoing and he's doing well. Uh, I mean, there's only one. Let's see. Let me answer these questions. Shawshank Lal, like what? You mean the topics that I would like to discuss here that are on my list? Um, Maybe I have one topic that I would like to do a video, but I could take it. I could um, give my thoughts on that here in the live stream. Like, stop living somebody else's life. What do you think about that? Uh, I mean, life is a journey. Dating coaches. I don't like dating coaches that much because they're selling stuff all the time. It's like the same old, all the time. Because it boils down to just making people hooked on your product and selling back to them. And as Alpha Interaction says, personal development is paramount for becoming the better version of yourself, which will automatically, passively attract higher quality people into your life, including partners. Uh, and yeah, alpha interactions. I think we're on the same page about showing, letting the opposite sex show signs of indicators of interest. Life is a journey. Good questions. Aren't PUA more about one night stands and dating coaches are more of for long term relationships? Um, like I wouldn't say that it's solely about building long term relationships, but it's about relationships and building bonds with people on a deeper and more meaningful way. And one night stands, like I feel has one night stands have always felt like a chore to me. Uh, I mean, if you're hooking up with a very attractive person and you want more, but yeah, you're let's say you are traveling on the go, so it's like it's an adventure, but if it becomes repetitive, it's the same procedure. It's like, what's the meaning of that? Um, you can build bonds, you can build relationships, and not commit to a certain person. Um, Feb one. more years and more great contents to come for this channel. What will be the changes on the channel? Just a preview. I will definitely. I have locked my eyes onto some gear that I want to purchase and make some bling bling flashy content. And just to be serious, I mean, I enjoy the process of creation and just pumping out video after video just for the sake of information. I would like to make it more story driven, more visual, more story driven, more personal, definitely more personal, and cut back on frequency maybe, and make it more like, for instance, I would like to upload a solid. I would like to have a solid schedule of uploading once a week, like for instance on a Tuesday, and maybe do a live stream on a Sunday, maybe if I feel for that. And if I have creative inspiration for uploading second or third video in the during the same week, then I will do that. I want to be more flexible, and I want to have more time to learn stuff, because although I have time now, I think I need a new direction so I can motivate myself to learn some new stuff, some technical stuff, like doing editing, and I want to learn how to choose good soundtrack, good music. That's a very important part of a video, and storytelling, of course. So I think changes are coming. So it has to be fun, in other words. It has to be fun, and it has to be enticing for new people to watch and eventually subscribe. Let's see. Do you know about Einzelgänger? He gives a philosophy lecture on life and sometimes also on date. Yeah, I'm actually subscribed to his channel and frequently comment on his channel. Um, he's he gained a lot of traction when he talked with people seeking some answers, some uh, um, answers to their suffering, and it's more, especially men are more attracted towards stoicism. If we would, because I mean, Buddhism in a sense is very stoic philosophy as well, teaching, but it's more, it's a lot of, it emanates more feminine energy, not for me, but I mean for the general opinion. I've been studying Buddhism for a fair amount of time, and yeah, they're very similar. But Stoicism is more like, I think, is more appealing for youngsters and especially men. And yeah, Alain de Botton is also a cool guy. I like his channel. I mean, very visually pleasing, and he is very poetic in his delivery. And the channel is the School of Life, of course. The channel that I'm talking about is, and he's a very funny guy, uh, very discreet one. How do you manage stress and financial stability? Um, Stress comes from putting yourself into uncomfortable situations over and over and over again. That per se means that you should remove yourself from those situations, because although temporary stress could be a good thing because it will motivate you to perform better, but if you're constantly under a tension of stress and worrying about the future, about how your colleagues perceive you, or uh, worrying about how if you're going to fail at something and you will be ridiculed by your peers, then you have to take a step back and actually ask yourself what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Because yeah, sure, you can meditate, you can take long walks, you can eat healthier, you can train frequently. It will ease your pain, but it won't disappear uh, unless you follow that inner voice that tells you that this is not good for you. And when it comes to financial stability, I mean, what is it that you want in life? Do you want financial stability, or do you want freedom? And the funny thing is, freedom of the mind grants a person possibility to pursue financially more lucrative things, endeavors. Because if you're free in mind, you will do much. You will perform much better. You will perform at a higher level, because it's something that you like, something that you find interesting, something that you um, get fulfillment from. And in that way, when you like what you do better, and when you do better, you get more financial gain. So I mean, in my case, I left the financial stability to pursue something, to find myself, to pursue something that would make me more content, mindfully content. So I don't think like there are very difficult cases where people start to compare themselves to extremes, like, oh, okay, am I starving? No, then what the hell am I complaining about? So, but the thing is, people want luxury, people want satisfaction, people want uh, gratification directly, now, immediately. And that puts you into a slave mind, because if you want a pleasure, if you want to draw some kind of pleasure, then you have to work for it now, short term. And what ends up happening is that you sell your time, and time is the um, most valuable equity that we have in this life. So if you sell your time for money, then you won't be financially stable and satisfied mentally at the same time. For the most part, because let's face it, most people don't like what they do. Uh, I hope it answered your question in a way. Shawshank. It sounds like Shawshank Redemption, one of the best films out there, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Uh, when you give time in YouTube, What do you mean by when you give time on YouTube? Shawshank. Yes, Nalini, I realize that Sundays will be more appropriate for people. I have to manage it with. I have a part-time job that I attend during weekends, and I have to figure out a way to not interfere with that one. And yeah, I saw your Nalini. I saw your comment about doing videos on outdoors in the nature, maybe. And I don't know if you've been listening, tuning in. I was talking about making some huge changes into this channel and becoming a videographer, the fancy term that we like to use on YouTube. Yeah. Um, so I'll be doing a lot of filming outdoors. So I mean, for my own sake, it has to be fun. Uh, February, a more personal approach will make you more closer to the viewers. Looking forward to that more. Tell me this, February. Do you think that, or anyone in the chat, do you think that me not telling anything or not telling so much about my private life is a bit distancing? Because I'm getting that feeling. Um, my plan was to focus on the message, but I get that people don't follow the message. People follow people, so I have to share some. I have to share a lot of myself on YouTube in order for people to find it interesting. Let's see. How do you manage your life? Can you describe? But without uncomfortability, growth doesn't occur. Exactly. The growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Uh, um, would you like to make? Um, would you like to do a collaboration, AJ? Talking about deep topics. Can you give me an example, AJ? I read a lot of books and find humanity is hopeless and we destroy ourselves. So, what is the meaning of saving time? Because life is suffering, and so what we do in chaos, human destroy Earth. I mean, I understand the realistic, the practical implications of what you're saying, and in a way, I maybe agree with you. But the thing is, you're looking at life from a very fixed point, and it feels like your view, your perception of the world is blurred by some kind of pain, if I'm not mistaken. So oftentimes people who feel pain and despair, they will project their inner their most inner truth onto how they see its surroundings. I mean, do you know what I'm talking about? Like if you're, for example, if you're utter, over if you're over a positive person, you'll like greet everyone with smile and laughter and be very kind and humble and stuff like that, because it's what you feel inside that makes you to act in a certain way on the outside. So your internal dictates your external. Um, and the thing is, you should think about improving yourself, not uh, being dependent on how the world develops. I, it takes the description of this channel is one person at a time or something like that. So you have to save yourself first before you will be able to save someone else. Um, let's see. AJ, do you have email address? Maybe you can shoot an email to me to my email. I have a my address is in a about tab on my channel. Let's see what we can talk about. Febon, what I mean is your topics. You could share your own experience. I guess it will help making viewers relate more. Just a thought, bro. Febon, I think you will. I think you should give me more thoughts. So the more the better. And I totally agree with you. Do you agree with what I said? If I put a lot more personal touch to my videos, would do you think people would relate more and thus um, watch more of the videos? I mean, I think I'm onto something here, but I would like to hear your opinion. Uh, I meant most of your videos are deep, so making videos outdoors would be perfect for your channel. Cool stuff, AJ. And yeah, email me so we can take it further. Let's see. Shawshank. Nope, not pain. It is truth. Prove me wrong. It's not surrounding. Just go dark web. You will see. I'm very humble and help many people and always smile. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't mean that. Like you're a horrible person or something like that. I just mean that there was a time in my life when I was very cynical, just 3 4 years ago, very cynical, and I had same exact thoughts about the world, that everyone is stupid and people are ignorant and they have nothing to contribute with and blah blah blah. And the thing is, I mean, everyone has something to contribute with, and having that perspective on life doesn't really help much. And I know that you're right in many senses, uh, but I mean, let's put it like that. You have to find the truth for you to find a meaningful being on this earth. Um, it has to be more aligned with your deeper inner thoughts, and feelings, not how others are. So what I'm trying to say, we shouldn't derive the perspective of the world from the outwardly. Everything is just a projection of how we see it, and I understand, I get it, but I mean, the way we feel about things comes from within. So if the internal values are aligned with positivity and not hope, I don't like hope. I did a video about hope, but positivity and action, then you will find it more meaningful. I mean, let's say tomorrow you become some lecture on something and you change people's lives and stuff like that, and they will approach you, they will thank you, they will shake your hands, you will feel that your existence has more purpose that you thought it had. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the growth that makes us keep going, and by helping others, by getting a positive feedback, not don't misinterpret me. I mean, I don't mean like getting validation from others or something like that. I mean that people literally find your existence very important and valuable. You create value for others. It will give you motivation to keep going and do a lot bigger stuff. Uh, Media self-perception or lives, and we buy, so try to live happy. Media, don't I don't let me see. Media show how to be happy. If we buy that product, I will be happy. Blah, 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 blah. Stuff doesn't feel whole. No, and that's why I don't watch any television, or I don't browse social media so much, because I don't care what other people like. I don't care about vanity. I don't care about consumerism just for the sake of it. That's why I cut myself off from that external. Much you read a lot of books. Keep doing it. Keep improving yourself. And how old are you? If you mind me asking. If you don't mind me asking. Susmit Dandale, please share something about meditation you practice or not. Just share something about it. Okay, I will certainly do a video about meditation. Certainly. I have it in my list, actually. Dennis Saiki, boss man. Making story videos would help rather than just tackling a topic. People love stories they can relate to. It doesn't have to be too personal. Yeah, I understand, AJ. I mean, at the end of the day, it has to be something. It's like, why were we listening to our parents telling us bedtime stories? Because they were alluring, they were enticing, they were giving something that we didn't have. At the end of the day, it's very attractive to why do we watch films, and why do we browse Instagram? Because many people try to imagine the lives that they could have. They want to just zone out and imagine, live in a fantasy world for a while. AJ, have you seen the channel Pursuit of Wonder? Predictably irrational, just so you also know about human nature and read many psychology. psychology facts and apply on a human. You see truth, give people worst situation, and you see their truth color. Yeah, Shawshank. I mean, at the end, we are animals, and if you put if you put animals in a cage, they will act like animals. It's like, I don't know if you've seen any kind of interpretation of a show franchise called Big Brother or something like that. Like, uh, people are sent off to a small confinement, and they are monitored and watched to see how they bond with each other, how they interact with each other. I mean, if you're highly intellectual, it won't matter to you. But I mean, self improvement is like, not many people. It's only like less than 1% of people take things to themselves when they consume as self improvement content or books, and actually change, transform their lives. The majority just pass by and continue with whatever they were doing. So, um, it, I mean, the the higher your intellectual level, the less of a chance is there that you will behave in a bad way. And I don't mean intellectual as being a brainiac, schooled in in conventional higher academia. I mean, like, understanding life. That's to me being intellectual. Understanding life and having survivability, if there's a word. Uh, so uh, consciousness elevates gradually. You cannot make people who are starving, quote unquote, to become philosophers suddenly. They cannot jump over 3 steps ahead. They have to become gradually conscious, gradually wise. That's why things are happening in the manner that they're doing right now. For me, yes, bro. For me personally, I learn by observing other people whom I can relate to. But if you're not comfortable sharing your private life, that's cool, bro. You make great contents anyway. I'm laughing because I have, like, I have no problem sharing private life. That's not the thing here. I'm laughing because I know for a fact that, because I know for a fact that visually more pleasing things get more traction on YouTube. Uh, it has to be entertaining. I mean, I've seen a lot of self improvement channels where they're not that good, in my opinion. I mean, content wise, I mean the core of the content, but the visuals being so great, they get a lot of traction, they get a lot of views and new followers. 21 years old, huh, Shawshank? You will change your mind several times. And I'm not telling you that you will become more of a saint or something like that, but you will, the more you try to understand the truth, the more you will understand that there's nothing to be bothered by. Well, what's the best way to learn something? What is the best way to learn something, Ryan? the best way to do something, to do anything, is to put yourself into a dead end situation. If I recall it correctly, uh, Robert Greene calls it death ground, where you have to you're put you put yourself in a situation where you don't have any other exit than just going through the learning process. Like if you move to a new country and you feel like an outcast, you will be um, you'll be forced to learn the new language, because otherwise you're not able to function in that country, baby. You have to be one with the society, with the people in your surroundings. And the same goes for everything. Either you have passion for that, or you put yourself in a death ground, in a dead end situation. That's the best way to learn something, in my opinion. And I wouldn't say the best, I would say the most effective. Uh, AJ, Pursuit of Wonder, check that channel out. It's a good one, actually, but a lot of times I find the narrator blabber stuff just for the sake of it, just because it sounds poetic. But yeah, there's it's like School of Life, but a little bit different. He's more vague and uh, poetic rather than giving actual advice like the School of Life. Emotional intelligence. Yeah, Shawshank. I actually have 4 videos on emotional intelligence. If you haven't checked those, you're very welcome to do that. Emotional intelligence. Uh, Amores tierra amas. The fuck? Yeah, I thought I had a lag somewhere. Yeah, emotional intelligence is about understanding your own emotions and others' emotions and acting according. It's like being a mind reader almost. So there is a thing, maybe it's not very scientific because you cannot measure emotions, but learning about emotions and that's essentially what is mastering emotions about. What mastering emotions is about. Knowing what they are and not reacting, but acting rational. Truth, absolute truth, and relative truth, and people in general see relative truth, and it varies by people emotional moment at the specific time. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's about catching people during the right time. Timing is very important when it comes to handling people. Emotional intelligence, Daniel Goldman. Yeah, I think he's the dude who coined that expression, emotional intelligence, right? Okay, folks, if you don't have any further points, notes, suggestions, questions, I think I will wrap this up. So yeah, 50 minutes flew by like nothing. And on that note, I was saying out.